All right. Welcome to People Theory. I'm your host, Samson Stewart. Today's guest is a Facebook gaming partner, entrepreneur, and you go by Matthew Laura. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Matthew Lara. It's
Or
Lara.
okay, yeah. Sorry, I probably like if I butchered it, let me know. But better known as I was owned.
Yes, sir.
So man, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
And I have here that here. Let's just go from here. So tell me about yourself. Like, what made you get started doing what you do?
Streaming.
Yeah, streaming, and then because you said entrepreneur. I think we talked about it a little bit before, like when we first met.
Right, right. Well, the entrepreneur side is pretty wild. So, actually, a long time ago, uh, I went through a tough situation in my life, and I became homeless. And well, I was presented with an opportunity, and I went to somebody and I asked them, "Hey, how do you do it? Like, how do I get out of here?" And he's like, "Oh, it's easy, man. Don't worry about that. Get a basket, throw all your belongings in there, and just find a space and just sleep there. You'll be good for the rest of your life." And I was like, "Holy shit, I'm gonna do the exact opposite of what this guy told me." So I went to go sell everything I owned, and I looked for a mentor, and I found a mentor, and he kind of guided me to get the proper knowledge that I needed to I guess you can say fix myself and further my education in finances because that's what it basically did. And the streaming part actually was presented to me because Facebook reached out to me and asked, "Hey, would you like to stream on Facebook?" And I was like, sure, let's try it out." So I tried it out because I saw like other people streaming on Facebook and I always wondered, how do they do that? Like, that's so cool. But yeah, I hope I answered that.
Oh no, no, you did. So yes, I have on here entrepreneur. So do you have like you said you have like other businesses?
Yeah. So I actually coach people on how to trade in forex. I own a video game, a small video game company,
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, and I actually coach people in financing and building their own Amazon business.
What's uh what's 4x?
Forex is foreign exchange, so it's basically trading the value of currency. For example, the dollar value right now is $1.10 if you trade it towards the European euro. Just for example purposes. So that's I trade that value change. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense, but that's basically what I do. And I
No, no, it
teach
makes
people
sense
how
to
to
me.
do that. Okay, cool, perfect.
Yeah. What made you get into that?
Wow. So that actually, I don't know. I got interested in business. Someone brought it up to me before, and somebody else made $100, and they showed me. They're like, "Hey, I made $100," and I was like, "Okay, well, if you could do it, I can do it too."
So if this is too much of a prime, like, does that make pretty good money? Like currently?
Forex trading. Forex trading, does it make good money? It depends what is good money. I live in California.
Okay. I
So
mean,
what
I live in Colorado. It's expensive here too. So,
so in Colorado, what's good money?
I think that's all perspective, right? If we were to get down to into the day, because
Right,
like,
right. Yeah, that
what's
I
good
want to be able
money?
to answer you good.
Yeah, well, what's good money to one person might not be another. But I think to be like, I'd say at least high middle class here, you are gonna make like 100 grand a year.
Wow,
And
no, I don't make good money then.
yeah,
No, I do not.
I mean,
No.
I don't make 100 grand. I'm just saying like, for you to be really comfortable, I feel like that's where you'd have to be.
Okay, no, with Forex, no, I no. No. Definitely not.
Well, if you running all those businesses, I imagine your time, like you don't have too much time, like keeps you
That's
busy.
so that's actually funny because the way I have my time spread out throughout the day is my gaming company takes out the beginning basically all the morning until the afternoon. Then I'll work on my streaming, and then from the afternoon on, I'll work on my trading throughout the day. But that's afternoon on is where I'll really put my focus into like charting up and stuff. And then from usually like 4 o'clock towards the end of the day, if I'm not doing my Amazon, business, I'll go back into streaming and do some of that, and then do some coaching on the side, and then see what I need to do for my, well, of course, being a partner.
Okay. I was actually going to ask you as far as like the streaming thing goes, because I noticed like that's what I noticed first about you is uh, when I first met you, you had like I want to say like maybe 50,000 followers or something like that, and then now I saw you have like 80. So like if you could take me down that path, I'm like, how did because you when you got started in streaming to now having 80,000 followers.
Yeah, yeah. So it's actually a pretty crazy story. I had a lot of hurdles and challenges. I scratched my neck because I don't know how detailed I should go in about that, but
We
definitely.
got time, man.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So when I started streaming, I had somebody invest into me. They said, "Hey, look, I know that you have a great personality, and you'd probably do really great in streaming." And I was like, "Oh, really? I appreciate that." He's like, "Yeah." So I bought you an Elgato. I was like, "Whoa, what the?" Like, that's so crazy. Thanks. So he gave me an Elgato, my friend. I don't want to say his name because he always told me never say my name, just say something. He said, what was it?
Oh,
Al,
we don't
Al.
need to know who he is. It's fine.
It's Al. It's Al. So that way he knows I'm talking about him. You know what I mean? Oh well, he knows from the Elgato anyway. He's the only one who did that. So, but yeah, Al. He went ahead and gave me an Elgato, and I started streaming from a PC. And I remember I was getting like no viewers. Like I would stream for like a whole hour, 2 hours, and I would get like 50 views in total. You know what I mean? And that's in total. And that would be like one viewer throughout like the whole thing, or like zero viewers at a time. And that was discouraging, but then I would remember, like, I'm not doing this for the views. I'm doing this because I want to create something. You know what I mean? Like, it's obviously going to take some time. I'm not going to blow up like crazy. But what I did do is I kept something in mind. I said, if I'm not going to stream, I'm going to do a blitz. And that's actually what started my whole streaming, like my name. It started off a little hate. People started to hate me because every day I posted a video, and people got tired of it. They're like, "Hey man, you can't be sharing your videos in here all the time." And I'm like, "But like, what's wrong?" And yeah, apparently some people just didn't like that I was in the group as my page. I would share my videos, and then I would invite those people who like those videos to like my page. And the admins did not like that. They said I was fishing for likes, and I guess I was, but it worked for my page. Like, I started getting 30 to 40 to 50 viewers at a time, and this was from playing Rainbow Six Siege. Um, and then after a while, I started focusing more on the main purpose why I started streaming, which was competitive gaming. And I wanted to get my name out there so that way I can build a team, whether that be in Super Smash Bros. Or Halo, which is my main focus now. Um, it's not working. I haven't been able to build the team, but I am able to get out content out there. I've had a bunch of videos get 1K likes now. I remember in the beginning, things would get only like 10, 20 likes, and I would go wild for that. I'd be like, amazing. That's 20 people. I could fill a classroom with those 20 people. I'd put it in that perspective. Like, if those 20 people were here right now, even if it was just 5 people, that's a lot of people. Like, that's five that to me, that's a lot of people. Like, I like every comment I can. I engaged with everybody because I wanted to create something that I didn't see in the community already. Like, I didn't see streamers give attention to each person who leave a comment, each person who liked the stream. Like, they didn't really give attention to those people. So I decided to start doing that. So I gave attention to all my comments, my haters, everything. Like, I love the haters because really what it is they need somebody to talk to, man. In the end of the day, they're humans too. You know what I mean? Like, they're not really haters. They're just going through a tough time most of the time, because every single time I got a hater, I reached out to them personally, and 100% of the time they say, "Hey, man, look, I'm just going through a really tough time." And I get it. Like, I can level with people. Like, yeah, you're going through a tough time and you just say some shit like you don't really mean it. It's just like some shit you said. Like, you don't expect somebody to like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with you?" Like that's random. Like you're a big page. Like I didn't expect you to respond. And that's usually what they say.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do respond. I do pay attention to that because again, at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
So I was gonna ask you because you said you were responding. Did you ever follow like Gary V?
Gary V. Oh wow, that guy.
Gary
Yeah,
Vanderchuck.
Gary V.
So all right. So however you feel about him, he does say when you first start, as far as content creation, to engage with your audience. So I just thought that was cool that you had said that were liking all of your comment, responding to people. That's a very I thought of Gary Vee when when you said that. I was like, hey, or like when you're putting out content every day, that's another thing. The more content you could put out. Have you ever thought about because we were talked about this earlier? Said you focus mainly on Facebook, but you do have a
Yes.
YouTube channel. Do you ever put your streams onto your YouTube channel?
That's so funny you should ask because everybody asks that, and no, I don't. Should
Oh,
I?
really? I would, because YouTube has a better or they say has a better like algorithm for people to like find your videos naturally. So you might just pick up like random people just watching it.
I mean, I
But
can try it. I can try it. I've tried it with Facebook, and look where I'm at now.
oh yeah, so man, that's crazy. So you were homeless before all of that.
Yeah, I was homeless. It was 2015, I believe, the beginning of the year, or 2014. I don't remember, man. What's your question around it? Let's go like that.
Oh no, you're good. I just was like, like just wow, that's crazy where you've come from being, you know, to homeless and now like where you're at now. I was gonna ask, so what's one of the things you wish you would have known before you like started on your journey?
One of the things I wish I would have known before I started on my journey.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I can't say there's anything.
Yeah, I get you. It's like a learning process, right?
Yeah, I enjoy every single step of the way.
Heck yeah, man. Um, so I just want to make sure I got all of my P's and Q's in order.
You're good.
Um, oh, we have a for the memes. Somebody, I follow IWASOWNED for the memes.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Sam Smith. Thank you for stopping by, brother.
Um, yeah, man. Like I'm starting my little YouTube channel, and I know how like I used to do Twitch. So when you were telling me about being on there and like only getting like 2, 3, views at a time, and like you're playing like a video game, that's like the most awkward feeling I've ever had. Is like sitting there, like one person's watching, and I'm like all quiet because I don't know what to say, and I'm like I probably should talk. I probably should say something, because you don't want to have that like lull. Like even now, like I'm still getting used to podcasting, so like when I was like, oh man, I only wrote so many questions, just because I think it's better just kind of riff naturally than me sit here like do like a 20 questions at you. I just don't think they turn out as well. I just got like little notes for myself, but yeah, no, that was like awkward, like sitting there on Twitch, just like what the heck,
Yeah, I
like
get you.
So what made you so sorry? So you play a lot of Halo?
Yeah, man. Halo is my favorite game. I love Halo. I do play a lot of Halo.
Yeah, Halo. So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I'm 28.
28. Okay, so I'm 32,
Oh well.
and yeah, I'm not that old, but I I remember playing like Halo 1 when it first came out on the Xbox,
Yeah, I call it that
and
too.
I got addicted to Halo 1. It's funny that you really, because I really like Halo. I think that's actually how we first met. We were playing Halo. I was probably doing horrible on what's that one? The one oh you,
Master Chief Collection.
the Master Chief Collection. Yeah, I was playing probably Halo 2, and yeah, man, I just got addicted to Halo. It's a really good series, man.
Yeah.
I I feel like I used to be good at it, and then I started playing the Master Chief Collection. I'm like, man, I actually kind of suck at this game.
Yeah, I know
Well,
how you feel.
I haven't played. To be fair, it's like you don't play a game. I played it when I was like 15, right? And I remember being pretty good. I would run Shoddy Snipes all the time, and I remember like shooting somebody and then switching to the sniper rifle and being able to just like turn around and like hit somebody like easy. And then I get on the Master Chief Collection, and I'm like, what the heck, man? This is horrible. I can't
Yeah,
hit
those
anything.
PC players are crazy.
Aren't we both on PC?
Yeah, but I mean those other PC players, like the ones coming from Fortnite and everything, those PC players have shots.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And like it's weird how like gaming too is like changed. Like I remember playing more of the like where you would like the multiplayer like team deathmatch style
Right.
um, games, and it seems like it's switched to more of that PUBG. Is it a battle royale? When you're
VR.
Fortnite kind of thing,
Yeah.
where you're jumping in. Even like the new Modern Warfare is they're switched to that. So like that's something I've had to get used to is playing the battle royales.
Right.
Let's see here. My apologies here. My thing got knocked over.
You're okay.
All right. So, other than gaming, man, do you have any other like hobbies that you're into?
Hobbies. Yeah, actually I play the guitar.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, do you play instruments?
I do not. I've always wanted to play like the piano, and I just never got into it. I like would start playing it and then put it down. I have really bad ADD, and I that kind of I think messes with me because I'll start doing something and then I'm on board with this and move on. And I think if I would have stuck to it or just kept coming back to it, I probably would have, But
No, I get you, man. I have ADD too. Probably it's probably why I learned how to play the piano, drums, everything. I got tired of one instrument. I was like, let me pick up this one. Let me see how this one is. But I'm not professional at all the instruments or anything. Like I've played trumpet, I've played the violin, I've played the bass, the drums, the guitar, and I started off with bass. My mom bought me one, and we're a family of six. Me, my brothers and sisters, and she bought us all an instrument, so we were like a small Christian band. But my dad wanted us to just be like a rock band, so that kind of split us up. Yeah, it split us up from wanting to make music together. But I remember always seeing my older brother play the guitar, and I played the bass. And I remember thinking, well, I want a guitar, and yeah, like well, in a matter of time, I eventually was able to get the guitar, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I always wanted to play this, so let me play it." And I taught myself, and the first song I learned wasn't the whole song actually. It was just the beginning riff of "Enter the Sandman" by Metallica.
oh, I think all of us or a lot of people can just start and like play the beginning.
That
Like
first riff, right?
yeah, or like the Deep Purple, like do 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 do.
Yeah,
Or the White Stripes. I could play the begin. There's a lot of beginning of songs I can play. I don't think I can play any full song on the guitar. Like it's all just the start of stuff.
yeah, I get you. I think the full song that I was able to play was I used to make out with Medusa.
Okay. Who wrote that song?
I think that's the band actually.
Oh, that's the band. Okay.
Yeah, it was Pray for Plagues. There it goes. That's what the song is called. Pray for Plagues. And we can't play it because obviously it's copyright. But yeah, it's called Pray for Plagues and I learned the whole song. Do you want to hear a little bit?
Of you playing or the
No,
song?
no, you could go ahead and hear a little bit, like just skip through it, like 1, 2, 3 seconds.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you don't
fine.
have to play. Yeah, you don't have to play it. I'm just saying, like it's a crazy song. Just so you saw, like what kind of music is I was on playing or he used to play. Yo, shout out to Jonathan D. Smith. Thank you for stopping by. Shout out to Megan Stewart. Um, Megan actually asked a question. I have a bad habit of always addressing these questions.
Yeah, that's my wife. She was like, she's like, "What's your favorite online game?"
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations to you and your wife,
Oh, thank you.
Samson. Yeah, you're welcome. Uh, my favorite online game will have to be Halo.
Halo.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but I
thought you
do.
said it. And
Yeah, I do love Pavlov though, which is a VR online game, and maybe VR chat because that has like a bunch of like games. So maybe those three are my top, if it
okay.
makes sense. Yeah, if I could choose three, but if it was only one, then it'd have to be Halo for sure. Halo.
Yeah, I want to get back into it. I was like, part of the reason I hadn't been podcasting is because where I live, like the internet is atrocious, and I just switched over to it's like 5G, like T-Mobile internet, and it's like way better now. So I was like, oh, it's nice. I can
Oh, I didn't
actually,
even know they offer internet. That's awesome.
yeah, well, because it was so bad, I was getting like two. That was my down. It was like two. Like,
2 megabytes or
yeah, it was horrible.
oh
Like I could
snaps.
barely do anything. And so when I switched, I was like, I can actually put out some podcasts now. I can, you know, do stuff because it that was like the biggest thing holding me up because I would, if you have, I don't know if you've ever downloaded like, well, of course you have a YouTube channel. If you go to download a file onto YouTube, if you got bad internet, man, like it's like my internet would have been like, this is gonna take like 1 year. You're like, what the heck?
Yeah. You know what? I had that before when I would download online games, so I get that feeling.
So, are you from? Sorry to I'm a little random, but are you from California originally?
Yeah, born and raised from LA, Los Angeles, California.
Okay, I've only been there once to LA actually, um, and it was cool. Though I went to like Venice Beach and what's the oh man, like
Santa
Muscle.
Monica?
Yeah,
Oh,
the Sauna Man up here and
Venice Beach is Muscle Beach. Yeah.
yeah, Muscle Beach and all that. Yeah, which it was cool. It was cool. It's before COVID hit. Like, luckily we went right before everything like got crazy. But yeah,
Oh,
it was
that
pretty fun.
that is crazy. Hey, by the way, you're not sick, are you?
No. Yeah,
Okay, just making
yeah,
sure. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. You're like on a pod. It's like those people that are like they're in their car with the mask on.
Yeah,
It's like we're on
exactly.
we're
There
on
you
a
go.
podcast with masks on,
You know
and we're
what?
not even near each other.
Sometimes that's me. Sometimes that's me.
I would deliver food, and like you get so used to like having it on because you have to like put it on and off when you like
Exactly.
deliver that I would like I'm just leaving it on. So if you're like I get it if you're getting in and out of your car a lot, but
Yeah.
it's just kind of funny. You'll be like on the highway and you're like, dude, you don't need to have that thing on. Like,
It's like I forget, man. I forget.
so has it been crazy there in California with everything going on?
I know that there's a lot of places that don't allow you to enter unless you're vaccinated. I don't know if that's crazy. Some people do call that crazy. Other people call that very normal. I think the times we're in is very unpredicting. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah, everybody has their opinions.
oh yeah. No, I get you. You could have an exact opposite opinion of me, and I'm not one of those people that are just gonna like freak out.
Yeah.
I'm more like, well, if that's your opinion, tell me your reasoning behind having that opinion. If you
Uh,
can articulate it, kind of thing. That's where I try to be, at least. I try to be like more, I guess, science kind of based. And I usually don't like veer, not to get too political, but I usually don't like veer too left or too right. I try not to go like, obviously, any of the extremes. I feel like is where there's a lot of where all this like problems with society are coming from. A lot of them are from the extreme right and from the extreme lefts. Like where you have like people that like almost seems like they want like us to be fascist, and on the other side, you got people that are like that took our jobs kind of people, like like at the two ends of the
spectrum.
yeah, two
Yeah.
ends of the spectrum.
When it comes to politics, man, I have no stand in any point. So
Oh,
I'm
fair
always
enough.
gonna agree. I'm gonna be a yes man. You know what I mean? Like, yep, yep. You know,
We live in society. We live in a society.
yes, we
Yep,
do.
that's true.
And the reason for that is because I have followers from all over the world, man. And all these people from all over the world, they each when it bec I believe in that thing where when people discuss politics, it's probably not the best discussion. Just like when they discuss religion, it's not the best. But of course, when they discuss corn, everybody seems to have an agreement.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny. Like I try, like I said, I try to have that skill where I don't, you meet people like, and they're like, you'll discuss like say politics or something, and if they don't agree, it seems like they just clash right away. You know,
I,
and
I'm a yes man. I'm a yes man.
yes, sir. And you're fine. I don't want to get into it if you don't. I was just curious because, like I said, it's different in California, like compared to like say in Colorado. So
Yeah, yeah. Yo, shout out to George, Lawrence, Katunao, Buot. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, sir. Here's the stream tonight. And I
welcome
get you,
back.
Samson. I get you, Samson.
But yeah, man. So here we'll go on a lighter topic. We will, everyone's a probably.
No, ask me. If you want to ask me a question in politics, ask me directly.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
directly. But, I don't want to have a conversation about it. But if you ask me directly, like, hey, so what do you think about this? Like, I can answer that. But if you tell me, how do you feel about the left side and the right side? It's like, oh,
Oh no, I understand, especially like because it's that weird thing where it's like they almost don't want to be. You don't want to be canceled almost if you don't agree with one side or the other. So I get it.
yeah, I
You
don't
want to
want to
articulate
even
your
be
opinion.
sided either. Which is
Yeah,
funny because not wanting to be sided puts you on the side, and it's like, hey, whoa, hold up.
yeah. No, I
So
feel you.
that's not what I wanted. You know what? Green Party. That's what I. Oh, actually, no, because I thought the Green Party was about marijuana, but it's not true. The Green Party is not about marijuana. Actually, they might be, but I learned about other things that they're about, and I was like, oh no, I can't say that no more.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. So, what do you like? I'm gonna switch gears completely. So sorry if this is a little random. Um, so as far as like the because really I wanted you on here to kind of go like I feel like it would be a good value, I guess, for your your followers to kind of get you to know you a little better, right? I think that was like the best benefit like for having the podcast for you, for you to be on a podcast is that because people know that you're a streamer and they know, So you were saying that did you say you have like six brothers and sisters or
Yeah,
um
we're six in total.
six in total? Okay.
Yeah. So it's me. Okay, so the oldest is my sister, and then I have another sister, and then I have my brother, and then it's me, and then I have two younger brothers. But actually, I have a step or half sister who's oldest, so it's three first, and then four boys, three girls, four boys. But my sister, who's the oldest, she does not live with us because she's from a different relationship my father had.
So you're like you're half. Yeah, I have a sister. We share a mom. I mean, sorry, we
Yeah,
share a dad. Sorry.
yeah. So it's like that. We share a dad.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, which is
So
awesome.
so you got so what you grew up in L.A.
Yeah, born and raised.
So are you in like a because there's different parts of LA, so it's like is it near like Hollywood or
Yeah. So I was actually born and raised in the hood,
in
and
the hood?
yeah, right in the hood. It was, and if people are from LA and they hear about this, they'll know it's right in between the Bloods and the Crips. So it was on West 62nd, and it's crazy because across the street was the Bloods, and across the street on the other side was the Crips. It's crazy because I don't know. It was just wild. I mean, I grew up around all of this, but I was never influenced by it. You know, like a lot of people around me got super influenced by it. You know, all the the gangster lifestyle, and I didn't. I got more influenced by my father's music, which was a lot of classic rock and heavy metal. You know, Led Zeppelin, Pantera, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, Metallica, bands like that. And he used to love playing 95.5. And, my dad, he came from El Salvador, and he came on the train. Like he went through like some crazy mission to get out here. So when he did get out here, he happened to come out here in the year of 1980, which was like the era of thrash, and that was the era where it was like booming. Thrash was like everywhere. So my dad was a rockabilly, and he I grew up with him playing like all that music he was around. You know what I mean?
Okay, well that makes sense why you got into like playing the guitar and everything. So growing up in like you grew up, you said basically in the hood, surrounded by the Bloods and the Crips. I bet you saw some crazy stuff.
Oh, dude,
Living in that area.
that's so crazy you should say that. So, I actually have a story. This happened a long time ago. So, my little brother, his name is Josiah. Um, he was in the room with me, so I'll try to make this as vivid as possible. We were sitting in the room, and whenever he would play Fable, he couldn't beat Fable, so he would tell me to play it for him, and he'll just watch me play it. Yeah, and it was one of those days, and we're playing Fable, and I'm getting into it, like even though I don't like playing for him, and I just hear like a and I'm like, "Ah, man, it's probably my little brother." Because there's six of us, so I was like, "It's probably my other little brother." He probably dropped the plate. I was like, "Josiah, go check it out real quick." And he's like, "Okay." And he runs over there, and then after, like immediately, you just hear, "Pow, pow, 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 pow," and I was like, "Holy shit!" I fucking threw my controller. I got up and I ran over there. My brother's just like going like that to like every shot, and I picked him up and I fucking ran to my big brother's room, and I went in there, I locked the door, and like I was with my other little brother, and he was under the covers, and he was like, "Boo!" And I was like, "Hey, don't do that." I was like, "Get under the bed," and fuck, I'm not gonna lie, I started crying and shit because I was the oldest. My mom wasn't there, and after the shots, we heard like glass falling, and it sounded like footsteps, so we were like shitting bricks. I was like, fuck, we had no cell phone, we had no phone service. If we make noise, then they're gonna probably come to us. So we just had to wait, man. And I started crying, and I told my brothers, like, hey, I love you guys if anything happens. And my little brother likes to fucking poke at me sometimes, like, hey, remember you were crying? And I'm like, you little shit.
Aw.
Yeah, like, dude, you don't understand, man. I was the oldest, okay? You guys are kids. But yeah, my mom ended up coming
Well,
in
weren't
her
they
room.
crying too?
No, they weren't. They didn't understand what was going on.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm like,
yeah,
or were they just straight stone cold gangsters? They're like all like, not.
well, my youngest brother, he was kind of in shock, like, because
Oh, I
I
would
had
have been
screwed him up.
too.
Yeah, but the brother who was in the room, like playing on the computer, which was in the other room, he was like, "Oh, whatever about it." He didn't even know what happened. He thought we broke plates or something.
Oh,
And I was like,
geez.
nah, man, we didn't break no plates. Like I was just
So did
shaking
it
my
hit your
shit.
house at all, or was it just around
Yeah, bro.
the?
They shot up the whole front. So okay, so check this out. So after that happened, we waited there for a bit. My mom came, and her first immediate thought was, "Oh, you guys were playing ball in the house and you broke it." And I straight up told her, "Hey, they shot at the house a lot." And she was like, "What? What happened?" And she called the police, and we made a police report. And she was like, "Hey, are you gonna tell the cops that you guys were with me, okay?" And I was like, "Okay, no problem." And we went to go see where my brother was standing, and dude, there was like 3 bullet holes right where he was standing. So
Oh,
I that tripped
geez.
me out. Yeah, that tripped me out a lot. And I told him, "Hey, can you go back and stand where you were standing?" And he did. And I moved him and said, "Look what's right there." And there was 3 bullet holes. And that's, dude, to this day I tell him, "Dude, I saved your life. Like I sent you to your death. You could have died because of me. But I saved your life." And dude, I hear on the news sometimes where these kids they're at home, they're just playing and they get killed because they were trying to shoot somebody, because that's what happened to us. The cops ended up finding out there was a person who was affiliated in a gang walking in front of our house, and they were trying to kill him. And it's so crazy that I could have sent my little brother to his death. And I think about that shit all the time. And I tell him too, like, dude, you know, I like you could have been dead, man. I look at you differently because I could have caused that. I told him to go, like, hey, go check out what that noise was. And yeah, man. So yeah, that to me was like one of the most craziest things that have ever happened while living inside of Los Angeles, California. I mean, I've had guns pulled out on me, but I've never had that fear that I had that day. Like I've had moments where I would like go to the smoke shop, and like guys in cars would just pull out AKs and just point it at me, and they'll just start laughing at me, and I'll just be like that and shit, like fuck, I can't do anything there, like
Yeah, yeah.
but
What are you gonna do?
yeah, well, what am I gonna do? You guys you all pointing guns at me. Like if you're gonna kill me, you're gonna do it. But they would usually do that to scare me. I remember another time where I was walking down Slauson going to Western, and I was going to the smoke shop. I used to have a heavy cigarette addiction that, thank God, I've been a year clean now, a year sober of cigarettes.
I've 3 years for me, man. So I feel
Hey,
you.
man,
It's
power to you, brother.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard. I feel it. Yeah, so I was walking down there, and these three kids, they had a gun, and dude, I was on my skateboard, and I already knew something was up because, like, when you're on a skateboard and somebody wants to let you pass, they usually line up. But these dudes, they like got into formation. And I was
Oh,
like, "Oh
geez.
shit." Yeah, I was like, "Oh fuck." So
They
I
have like
got
a
off my
stick.
skateboard.
They're like ready to
No,
like.
there was three of them, and one they were all blocking the sidewalk, and like I picked up my skateboard and like I tried to go around him, and the kid was like, "Hey, hey, don't run!" And he pulled out his gun, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, what the
geez.
fuck?" Yeah, and I just fucking started booking it because right across the street, a block over, my dad was right there in the shop. There's like a body shop right there, and he works there, and he was always there. Like he did hours there, so I knew he was there. So I decided, look, if they're gonna shoot me, I want to at least be close over there. You know what I mean? So like I can see my dad and tell him I love him. But yeah, they chased me, but like I guess somewhere along me like just running off, they were like, you know what, fuck it, and they just let me go. But like those were probably the craziest things that's happened to me.
Yeah, man. I haven't really had like anyone pull a gun on me. I've had a rough life on my own, but like no one's been like, you know. I had a cop pull a gun on me, but not.
Oh, I've got that. Tell me your
But
story, and I'll
never.
share mine. Tell me your
Yeah,
story.
yeah, that's fine. So I grew up really poor. Like the house we grew
Me
up
too,
in
brother.
was like, I guess we lived like the poverty line to kind of give. I have to kind of state this so you kind of understand why I was doing what I was doing. So my mom told me that we didn't have any like napkins or paper towels at our house. So I was walking to the Texaco down the street so I could get like when you wipe your windows off, they had like those like paper towels you could pull out, and then I could have like a stack of those, and that would be our paper towels and like napkins and whatever we had to use,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to go buy them, right? So I'm walking to the Texaco and I find this plastic gun on the ground, and I'm twirling it around, and it has an orange tip at the end, so it's not like it's a toy gun, right? So it's a toy gun. Well, I'm playing around with it, right? I'm probably like, to be honest, I'm like 14, 15, I think at the time, right? And I get to the gas station and I grab the napkins, right? Well, apparently I'm twirling the gun around. The lady inside the Texaco saw the toy gun and thought it was real,
Uh-oh.
right? And I didn't know this. So anyway, I'm like walking back home, just like literally just twirling it around, like I'm not even thinking about it, right? That someone's gonna it's a toy, right? And as I'm walking, all of a sudden these bright lights, like these cops pull out of nowhere. They turn on these bright lights, and then they come out with like guns blaring. They're like, "Get on the ground, get on the ground!" And I gotta like put my hand up, and I had the I forgot, when I was walking, I put the toy right here, like in my jacket, where like just the handle is sticking out. And then so all they see was that handle, and so I put my hands up to like drop the gun. So I threw the thing on the ground, and they were like ready to shoot, man. They were like ready to go. They unloaded their rounds. That when we went back the next day, they were sitting there, So it wasn't too crazy, but they brought me back to like the police station for questioning, and I was like, it's a toy. Like like you guys clearly see it's a toy. Like, why are you acting like I'm some sort of criminal? But yeah, I was scared though, because I thought they were gonna. You hear about it all the time, like, cops going crazy over some dude like holding a Pepsi can. So
Yeah.
I was worried they were gonna just blast one off.
Okay, so what happened to me was me and my friend, we were at so it was like a bridge that you would go over a train station, and we were up there, and it was a rainy day, and we decided, hey, we're gonna smoke up here. So he was rolling a blunt, and out of nowhere, these guys just come up running up the stairs, and they started dropping all these weapons next to us, and we were like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, they had like
Are
these
they like on the
crowbars.
ground?
No, they were just like, they ran up the stairs, and then like they were dropping weapons next to us, like leaving it next to us. Yeah, and they were just running. And we were like, yo, what the fuck? And he was like, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. Because this other guy, he came and he started digging in like inside his shoe. He was like, what you guys got? Weed? Save some for me. And we were like, what the fuck? Like, nah, let's get out of here. Yeah, and we got out of there. Like, we started walking away to like the other end. And you just hear, freeze, everybody put your hands up. And there's like 3 cops, and they all have their guns drawn. And then you just see a helicopter start coming by, and like, dude, that shit went crazy. They had like 3 cop cars on the other
Oh
side.
God.
Yeah, and then 3 cop cars on the other side pulled up. This was in Watts too. So, and they started checking all of us, and my friend was like, "Fuck, I got the weed in my hand," and I was like, "Dude, don't worry, don't worry." He was like, "Bro, they're gonna arrest me for it," and I was like, "No, they're not, bro. Just don't worry." And they were like, "Oh, do you have an ID?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. It's in my back pocket. I don't want to reach for it." And so they grabbed it, and they told that to my friend, and they looked at our IDs, and the guys who were like they were going after were all tatted up, and shit. And me and my buddy, like, we have no tattoos. So they're
And
like,
younger kids too.
yeah, and we're younger kids too. So they're like, hey, you guys weren't with these guys, huh? And we're like, no, we were just here. We were just hanging out. And they're like, all right, hold up. And he went to go call his sergeant, and apparently his sergeant saw the guys who were like they were looking for, and he was like, "No, these 2 kids, I don't know what they're doing here. You could let them go." So they let us go.
Did they
Yeah,
even
but
search you or anything?
no, they
Oh
didn't
yeah,
search us.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But my friend,
Victory blunt.
that's the funny part. He had picked up the weed in his palm, so there was like,
Oh.
yeah, it was only a little bit of weed we could actually smoke. But hey, it was
Aw.
enough for us to feel proud.
Well, after that, you probably were like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh
That would
man.
have been scary. Yeah, I grew up in like a really small town, right? So like it's kind of funny hearing these stories from you, because LA, it's like such a big, big population. The like city I grew up in, I think, had like 4,000 people.
Whoa,
So real
nothing.
small. Yeah, 4,000. I mean, the way Colorado's set up though, like there's other towns that have like 200,000-300,000 people, but as far as like where I grew up, like in the Frederick, Firestone, Acona, they called it the Tri-Town, and there's only, I think, like there's only so many people there, so everybody knew everybody, kind of thing.
Like South Park.
Yeah, yeah. Like South Park, where everybody kind of knows each other. So there's
Yeah.
not like, there's not like Bloods or Crips. There is like people that like think they're,
Tough.
that well, yeah, and they could be. I don't like to say like people when you want to say like wannabe gangster, it doesn't take much for somebody to like turn to the other side kind of thing and do something crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of like people that want to be tough, but they're not like really the you know they're not really like carrying around guns and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
So that's pretty crazy though. So it sounds like you and your like brothers and stuff are pretty close.
Wow, that's funny you should say. We're not actually that close.
Oh man, yeah, because
Yeah.
you made it seem. I was like, man, it sounds. I didn't. The brother. I had a brother, but he passed away when I was like 14, and we didn't really know each other all that well because we like he was my half brother, so he grew up with his mom, and I grew up with my dad, right? So I didn't really like. I only saw him every once in a while, and he was always getting in trouble, right? Like he robbed a Taco Bell when he was 17, and then how he died is he flipped a Yukon over. So, and I'm like not to get all like too deep, too personal, but yeah, like so when you said you had brothers, I was like, oh man, like I've always wanted that. So I was like kind of surprised you guys weren't close.
Yeah, man. Just because you have brothers doesn't mean you're gonna be
Yeah,
close.
yeah, that's true, man. Like I like just even where I was, like I said, we didn't really talk too much.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So my youngest brother, Josiah, maybe we can talk. We can have normal conversations. We could definitely go in depth about things. But then when it gets to my two older brothers, I guess you can say uh, I guess you can say they have a different way of communicating with me, and I have a different way of communicating with them. And it just it doesn't meet to par with what I feel would actually be like. How can I say, like, it doesn't feel genuine, the conversations or the time being spent with them. It feels more of I'm just doing this because you're my brother, and
Ah, that's
it's
too bad, man.
yeah. It makes it too bad because I can recognize that. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it like, oh well, fuck me, I guess.
Do you think that's a like is that is that your fault, or do you think it's more on their end, or is it
So
maybe a little bit of both?
so when I was 18, I went my mom, she also grew up, very unfortunate. She tried her best, that's for sure, but she wasn't, food stamps, Section 8, stuff like that. And it's funny that you said that because I should have thought about that. We didn't have a car, so we didn't think go to the gas station, get that food stamp.
Oh.
We went to the fucking restrooms and we went to go grab it from there. You know what I mean? So I get you, bro. I get it. And there were
Yeah.
six of us. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, man. I don't tell. It's funny. I don't tell many people like that. Uh, that part of my like, childhood. But it's funny how things just kind of come out.
bro. Hey, like I said, I was there too, bro. There was six of us. I remember my dad would come with rolls that he would get from the restroom, and they're for your hands,
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
for
yeah,
your
yeah.
hands, yeah. And he would get them from the restroom. He'd be like, "Oh, I got a bunch today," and we'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I needed to take a shit so bad." It was real, man, and I get the feeling, bro. I
Oh
lost I
man.
lost track of what I was going to tell you though. What was
I
I
was
gonna tell
asking
you?
about your, why weren't you and your brothers close? Like,
Oh, right, right. So,
and
what ended up happening is, um, I wanted to help my mom pay her bills and rent, and well, she said that if I got a job, I'd be the job I was going to, which was a Burger King. It was like minimum wage shit hours. So I was only getting 4 hours a week. She said if I was to do those hours, make that money, that they would kick her off Section 8 and they would stop giving her food stamps. And I was like, that's okay. I'll give you the whole check. Like, I don't care. And she said no. So she kicked me out. And I remember I remember it was not like a healthy way of leaving. It was a very bad, on bad terms kind of deal. Like it was a huge argument of, no, you shouldn't get a job. I want you to just focus in school. And I was like, look, I don't want to focus in school because I've seen you in school for the last fucking 10 years and you're still struggling. Obviously, that shit don't work, you know? So I told her, let me work, let me get a job, and let me see if this works. And yeah, we had a huge argument about it. So she kicked me out. It was on bad terms. She told me, don't ever come next to the house, go to your uncle's. And turned out my uncle was going through a gay phase. So I left that place and I tried to go get some clothes from my mom's house. And I remember when I went over there, my mom wasn't there. I thought, hey, my brothers will look out for me, you know, so let me go when my mom is not there. So she went to school and I knew her schedule already because, hey, I'm her son. So
Yeah, no,
I
yeah,
went,
makes sense.
yeah, so I went to the house when I knew she wasn't going to be there and I knocked on the window in the back because I didn't want to do it from the front. I was like, oh, let me go through the back. So I jumped like the fence we had and I went to the back window and I knocked and my little brother opened the window and then he like closed it quick and then my big brother opened it and he was like, hey, you can't be here, you gotta leave. And I was like, hey, look, I don't have any clothes, I need a sweater or like maybe some shorts, you know, can you help me out? I said pants actually. I said, could you help me out? And he's like, no, you can't be here. And I was like, you know, they closed it, they closed the curtain, so I started knocking and I was like, "Hey, come on, guys, don't do this to me, please. Like, I just need a sweater. Like, I'll leave and I'll come back in like 10 minutes." And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, guys, please, I need a sweater or something." And then like I told my other little brother, like, please just go leave a sweater in the side. I'll stay right here. And my oldest brother was like, don't do that. Don't help him. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then I was like, why? Why are you acting like this? And he's like, because if mommy sees us, then we're gonna get in trouble. And you know, we don't want to. We live here. That's what they were trying to basically say. Like, I don't live there no more. Like, they live there, so they can get in trouble. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, why are you treating me like this?" And my oldest brother said, "Look, if you don't leave, I'm gonna call the cops." And like that day, dude, I felt like a knife go through my heart. I was like, "What the fuck?"
So, I mean, how long ago was that though? It's got to been years from when that
I
happened.
was 18. It was 10 years
So
ago.
yeah, 10 years ago. So they don't. Do they still live with your mom?
No. I mean,
No.
it's my mom lives with them now.
Oh, okay. But you guys haven't been able to reconcile that.
I mean, you know, we hang out and stuff, but that's something they rather like every time I try to reconcile that, they just rather, hey, you know what, fuck this, I don't want to talk about this, and they'll just leave.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so it's like, oh wow, like you know what, whatever. Like I don't, it doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, no, that sucks, man. I can totally relate with like like I guess that probably everybody can to some degree. Having like family issues and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
hopefully you guys at some point can like figure out your guys' differences.
Well, like I said, we hang out, we talk, but you know, there's always a piece of me that wants to talk about that, that wants some closure, that wants them to apologize and stuff. You know, like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we get it. We fucked up. All right, we're sorry. But it's like there's never any of that. It's more of we don't want to talk about that. Like you just want to complain, and it's like wow, like oh yeah, it's just so easy for you guys to say that, you know, because they didn't go through it. But for me, it was like to hear them act the way they did and hear the words they said. It's like, how do you think I'm supposed to feel? You guys are my brothers. You guys were the only people who were looking out for me. And now you guys turned your back. Who did I have? I had nobody then, bro. I couldn't go to my dad. My dad lived inside of a fucking restroom at the time. You know what I mean? He was homeless. And my mom, she lived there and she had kicked me out, did her thing. So it's like, you know, like I had no one else to turn to. Again, my other uncle was going through this gay phase, and I felt very unsafe sleeping in the same place where he slept. You know what I mean?
Well, why
And
would that matter?
well,
Sorry, like
because
the uncle.
he molested my sister, dude, and that wasn't
Oh,
cool.
jeez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's fucking crazy, bro. So I was in a situation where I didn't have people. I didn't have so many options. You know, like I had to just find out how the fuck am I going to do this myself. And you know that's why I said I went to go look for a mentor. I was homeless, so I had to find somebody. I didn't want to be in the streets no more, man. I didn't like it. Like I remember the first 3 days, I already smelled like shit. My whole arms were fucking dirty because I slept on the floor, and I didn't think like, wow, how can somebody like that sweat that you get from sleeping on the floor really does make you smell, dude. Like that shit's crazy. And I
Oh
remember,
no, yeah,
yeah, and I remember seeing people, and they would smell. They'll be like, and then they'll look at me, and and I'll be like, "Fuck, man! Like I get it. Like I'm trying to do something. Like I'm thinking what I'm gonna do." And honestly, bro, I got into a life of crime. I did. I did. I started, but organized crime. Okay, I wasn't a loony guy out here with a fucking gun and going to
yeah, just
rob
like going
people.
crazy. Yeah, no, you
Yeah,
were
nah. I did some
makes
real
sense.
organized type shit. So what I did is, I'm not gonna say exactly what I did because there's still people out there who do this to make money, but I found ways to Robinhood, Walmart, Target, and kind of get money for myself without
Oh,
hurting anybody.
so I won't name names, but when okay, my dad's not around anymore, but like we would
Rest
like
in
you
peace.
could sell food stamps and stuff like that, right? So you would find a receipt, right? And then you would don't everyone use this, you can get in trouble. Just just everybody even who was like watching this, but you'd find the receipt, and they would you'd buy everything on the receipt using your food stamps, and because it's a cash receipt, you could go back and get the cash for it.
You want me to tell you one better?
Yeah. Or somebody would like another one. This I don't know if this would work anymore, but people would they would steal like an item, right? And then but they'd steal an item that they found a receipt for, and then they would come back and get their money for that.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's
So
dude, okay, so check this out,
so
bro.
I'm aware,
Look,
man. I'm
look,
aware.
look, look. I'm not gonna say how often. I'm not gonna incriminate myself, but what I did was, I definitely returned my item that I purchased for my money back. Okay, that's what I did. I'm not going into detail or depth
Yeah, it's
because
probably well
yeah,
if you have to think, man. If you were like 18, 19, it's probably beyond the statute limitations anyway. Um, and also, it sounds like you were in like a bad spot in your life, and you've moved on from there. So, I get it, man. I
yeah.
like
You know
I
what?
told you, I grew up poor, man. I like all the little stuff
And
to make
and
money.
let me tell
Like,
you something crazy. Let me tell you the craziest part. Okay, this is the craziest part. So I had a group of friends, and I had two friends who were really fucking down. Like I had an organized way to do it, so that way it doesn't look like you're stealing. Like nobody's getting in trouble. Like you're clearly just purchasing items. Like just like how you said with the food stamp stuff. Like you just changing it for cash, things like that. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
And I had these two guys who would fill up fucking carts and just walk out of stores. Okay. And I did not know they were going to do this, but my friends, we were like, oh, yeah, let's go to a Target. And I was like, oh, yeah, my sister works at a Target. Let's go to that Target. Me not knowing what they were going to do, they fucking filled up two carts with a fuck ton of stuff. And I was there, like, chilling with my sister, talking to her. And, like, we were smoking cigarettes outside. And, like, when they were done, they just walked right the fuck out. They didn't pay for anything. They just walked right out. And, like, I hugged my sister and was like, all right, bye. Dude, the fucking Target pulled a criminal case on my sister. Like her job was at risk. They're like,
Oh,
"Oh, you need
damn.
to turn in your brother and all his friends." Yeah, because when they looked at the recording, it looked like she was helping us because I left with them. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Dude, this ruined
Yeah,
my
but you didn't even know. You're all just oblivious.
Yeah, and it ruined my relationship with my sister because every now and then she's always like, "Oh, I don't trust you. Ever since you did that to my job, like I can't trust you." And it's like, dude, it's so crazy that since I was in that type of lifestyle, she couldn't believe that. Oh yeah, you think I would believe that you didn't know that? And it's like, really, I did not know my friends were going to do that. Like I did not I had no idea. Like they said let's go to a Target. I said, "Okay, yeah, there's one right here. My sister works there." That was it. And I get it, to this day it hurts her, but I even went through court and proved my innocence and everything because when they looked at the video, I had short hair, and remember I was hanging out with my sister, and they saw me with
Yeah.
her throughout the whole video, and it was hard for them to argue that I orchestrated anything if I wasn't in the store with them. Like I stayed in the front of the store smoking
Yeah, you're
cigarettes.
not even like a lookout at that point if you're like distracted.
Exactly. And it's so crazy because in the video at the fucking end, dude, for some reason, the security guard had left his post. That security guard never leaves his post. But that day he did, and he checks everybody's receipt, and he did not check them. It was just
Oh,
like,
jeez.
yeah, so it
The
was all
perfect storm.
yeah, a perfect storm. It all looked like the security guard was in it, my sister was in it, like people
Oh,
were getting in
jeez.
trouble, yeah. And thank God, like, well, they put the heat on us, and I told them like, look, I don't know those people. I just knew one guy, and the one guy who I did know, he didn't steal anything. So it's like I don't know the other two fucking guys. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, that I think I got off topic there.
Oh no, this is how podcasts go, man. You just get on something and it goes off. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, I can say I've never been into. I did like some of the whole like the food stamps thing, and a few times I did like the
Don't
exchange,
incriminate yourself. You don't have to tell me.
but but no, I'm just saying I didn't really get too much into anything. I guess I got lucky. I to kind of relate to you. I when I was like about 18, 19, I think I was no, no, I was about 21 at the time. I remember now, and I had moved back in with my family, right? And we had like got me and my we got in a fight, and we had like kicked me out, and I had nowhere to go, and so I was like sleeping in my car. And I got lucky that's like some of my friends like ended up letting me stay with them, and I was only like technically homeless or whatever for like a few days. And I was in a point in my life where I like I had been a lifeguard since I think I was like 17 till I was like 21. I worked at this rec center, and so I had a job, I had money, and so I had a car. So I'm like grateful that I had that car, man. Because if I didn't have
Yeah,
that
dude.
car, that would have like really sucked. Because I was probably homeless for I don't know, like it was like 2 weeks or something like that.
Bro, if I was homeless in my car, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like way better because you could like turn on the heat, right? And I had a job, so it wasn't like the worst. I also worked at a rec center, so I was able to like go and like take showers and
Shower and
stuff.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it all like worked out really well for me. So luckily I didn't have to like actually be like suffer. And I remember, um, actually that's a crazy point in my life because you were talking about when I think that time in people's lives is probably one of the hardest points in a lot of people's lives because you're in this almost like this transition point between being a child and becoming a man or a woman, right? So you're this, and you don't really know what the world is really like. So, like when I got kicked out, what had ended up happening is I was living with this girl that I thought I was going to marry. We broke up. Okay, we had like our own apartment and stuff, and she like moved off to. She was going to move off to Texas, and and she ended up cheating on me. All this stuff is a crazy story, man. Like with like my best friend and all this stuff at the time. And so I was heartbroken, and I wanted to move back in with my dad. So I go to move back in, and then we start fighting a bunch, and then I get kicked out, and then I end up being homeless, man. And then I go stay with some friends, right? I said, and then soon after that, I find out my dad is sick, right? He has cancer, and so I move back in to try to like spend that time with him, so I could be there for him, man. And so we're talking the matter of like, and then he ended up passing away like a year later. And so a bunch of this stuff just happened like one after another. And I think there was even something else, but I don't even remember because it was just so convoluted at the time. And I don't know what point I'm trying to make, but I'm just saying like that time in people's lives I just think is, you know, really tough.
How old was your dad, if you don't mind me asking?
He was 52. He died of blood cancer.
Yeah, rest in
So,
peace.
oh yeah, definitely, man. He was a very interesting person. So like he was the type of, I don't know if you've been around these people, but he could make you feel like $1 million, and then within the same breath make you feel like you're like you know nothing. So it was pretty nuts. What's up, Conk? Nice to see you, man.
Says I miss you, sub George. Yeah, but I get you. I get you.
So I don't not to probably we're on an hour. I wasn't sure. I don't want to take up too much of your time if you were, you know, if you had other stuff going on.
We could go through your questions, man.
Oh no, I've already kind of went through them. I just had some general notes. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't taking up, if you had plans, you know.
No, if you want to get you could go ahead and finish your interview.
Yeah, no, we're pretty good. Like I already went through these, but yeah, no, I just was trying to figure out your timeline. Like, so how much time do you have for the day?
Well, again, I've moved everything from here on out, so that way I didn't know how much time you needed, really.
Oh well, we're good. We're good. No, yeah, but yeah, he was like one of those people that would make you feel, you know, amazing and then make you feel like crud. So I have like a weird relationship when I think about my dad. It's like one of those things. It's like I loved him a lot, but I also had like maybe some other stuff going on there. So I don't know. I guess it's a lot to like maybe want to put out like on a podcast. So I try not to. Don't want to get too into it, but
No, it's all right, man. I get you.
go ahead.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just was trying to make it. Oh man, I guess I'm just tired. It's been a long day. I think it's probably a good time to wrap it up, and then if you want, we can even like do this again at another time too.
Yeah, we could definitely do this again, and yeah, we could wrap it up. Again, I don't know how you usually go ahead about the endings of it. That's why I said if you could go ahead and continue it and finish it how you would usually finish it.
I don't really like. I'm still getting used to kind of the whole like podcasting thing. Just trying to put out episodes and just get better at it over time. Even us like talking, it's kind of funny. Like we'll be talking and then there'll be like a slight lull, and I'm like, oh man. What do I say?
Do you want me to at least you want to go watch People Theory?
So, quick question though. Do you have anything in that you have coming up, like planned, like any like YouTube videos or streams or books that you're writing that you're trying to get out there?
Yeah. So actually, I'm pretty surprised we didn't get into anything about my game company. I own a video game company. But yeah, I actually do have a mobile rap battle app. It is out already. It's for Apple iPhones, iOS only. It's bringing rap battles to the palm of your hand because, of course, we know that hey, everybody has some skill there.
So, on the rap battle app, like how does that work?
So the rap battle app actually, I'll show you. My phone is cracked to the max. You see that?
Oh, here. This is funny that you say that. Here, let's see if my camera will pick it up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. You're looking just like me out here, man. That's probably how bad mine is. So the Rap Battle app, it's basically like any kind of mobile game. Like you'll select Rap Battle, and then we have Quick Match, Ranked Match, Custom Match, and Cipher Match. You can get in with some buddies, and you guys can do rap battles together. And this is all live, so you can search as a judge or an artist. So as a judge, you'll basically judge the rap battle, and as an artist, you will go ahead and rap. And we've created a system where people can actually generate income just from judging rap battles or actually rapping.
That actually sounds awesome, man.
Yeah, actually proving grounds.
So you'll get on there and you'll be like, I'm back in Black Lord Vader. Don't give up. You'll play a hater. Just gonna chop you in half with my lightsaber, and you'd be doing that, and then someone would judge your little rap that you put down.
So actually, it's a rap battle. So after you do so it's 2 rounds. You would do 30 seconds, and one of us will pick the beat beforehand, and then I would do 30 seconds, and then at the end, the judges will put their input on the rap.
Oh, geez. So are you pretty good at rap? Like, what made you think of the whole rap thing?
So actually, the industry alone is $57 billion industry, and I was just thinking if I can make a way to get just a penny of that billion, it would be actually be millions. So my thought was, well, what can I give to the public that they actually need? And I saw a need for rap battles to be more mobile or to be more accessible, even. You know what I mean? Like right now, a lot of people who have skill don't want to go to a rap battle because they're afraid of like hierarchy or gang violence or even getting robbed or shot at. It's not even about being in a gang, it's about being better sometimes, because there are stories where people have won against other rappers, and then at the end of the show they'll get shot at, stabbed, killed, and that's just things that it's unacceptable, honestly.
All right, so I have an idea. Okay,
Yeah.
I just came up with it right now. So what you could do is, you as like the owner of the app, right? You go on there as a judge and you share the screen, right? And you have the two people rap battle, and then you judge it on like TikTok or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So we actually have been sharing our videos. We have been getting the name out there. Currently, we're at around 150 downloads. So the way it works is that we'll make the event. Like we'll be like, oh yeah, this day, everybody get on, because since we don't have a insane amount of users, it's not 24/7 rap battles just yet. But that's what we're growing to right now. It's just more of oh yeah, this day we're gonna rap battle. Everybody get on, and then we'll do like a stream on the Facebook, or we'll have one of the users start clipping these and we'll post it on the YouTube or the TikTok. But it all depends how our marketing team is handling it, because there's people who are getting paid for this, so I let them, hey, since I paid you guys,
Yeah, no, I get you. So my
yeah.
brain just automatically starts trying to like figure. I'm like, well, how could you like turn that, to market it, to get more marketing out of it.
So if that's a question, I'll answer it. But yeah, you'll basically take that and use people's skill to just post it and bring in more skill. Like, oh yeah, are you better than them? I honestly don't know, because I'm not doing the marketing. I'm not leading that. That's why I hired somebody to do it.
Yeah, so Conk, I don't know if you saw the comment. He said, "Creative idea solves a problem and makes something go digital, and which is the future," which
Exactly.
I would agree with.
Let's see where I can't see those comments. Is
You
it on
can?
Twitch?
Oh, it's on. So do you have the in the StreamYard? Do you have it blown up full screen?
Should I? Here we
No,
go.
no, no. If you don't make it full screen, there should be a tab that says comments, but maybe it doesn't show that to
Gotcha.
you.
I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. I
And
see
then
it.
there'll be comments from every one that we're streaming to. So
Yo,
we're
what's
on
up,
Twitch,
Conk?
Facebook, and YouTube.
Yes, Conk, that is the future. And honestly, we hope to bring a lot of the new rappers to help them come somewhere to create a name for themselves, because people used to do it from the SoundCloud times. Well, now it's the Xno times, where people get back into freestyle rapping, to that live rap battles. And it's cool because people can be at their full-time job, be on their lunch break, and be like, yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of rap battles real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah, just
so,
for the fuck of it.
so I don't know if you did this as a kid, but like I was telling you, I grew up poor. Me and my friends, we would rap battle all the time, or even we wouldn't really necessarily rap battle. It'd be more of like, hey, bro, you freestyle. Like we put on a little beat and go. And I remember I was never amazing at it. I think I got better after time. If I tried now, I would just stumble. But back then, I think eventually I got okay at it. But there were some kids, man, that I would hear them. I'm like, dude, if they actually practiced, like they could probably go somewhere. Like they just had like a natural like talent for it. Me, I had to like work for it.
Yeah.
I had to sit there and really think about what I was gonna say. I think I'd be good at writing. Like if I wrote it all out, I'd be okay. And I also have that like the white boy rapper problem of I tend to rap too fast. Like a lot of white rappers, they'll rap really quickly, and I don't
Gotcha.
know why it is. It's like a it's like a almost like a stereotype, but for me, it's true.
That's all right, man.
So when you
And
said that, I was like, that's brilliant because I remember doing that as a kid, sitting there. And if me and my friends had that app as a kid, we would have used it, man. We would have been sitting there like, yeah, let's see what the judge says, huh? Let's see who says which
yeah,
rap is
who's
better.
better? Yeah. And that's the thing, because today's kids have phones.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely feel like it's crazy. So why I'm even getting into podcasting is because I see that it's a growing niche, and when YouTube came out, I was around, man. We all were, and like if I would have jumped in on that, who's to say I wouldn't have been some big YouTuber, you know? And I'm like, geez, like I had the means, I could have done it. Why didn't I? You know, so it's kind of like with the podcast thing. It's like, well, if I get on this, maybe I can turn it into something. And obviously, I'm going to get better at it over time. So I'm just going to keep. This is the third episode. I'm just going to keep, grinding at it and hopefully, sharpen my skills. But to kind of relate back to the whole cell phone thing, right? I do believe there was especially a time where, apps were blowing up and cell phones were going to take over the usage and stuff like that. So it's definitely true.
They're on the
Oh,
way out. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Conk said, I love in-person events and brick and mortar stores, but unfortunately they are on their way out. Yeah, I'm a little nervous with that I'm a little nervous. Like, I really like those like nerd stores. Like, have you ever played like D&D and stuff like that?
Magic gatherings and stuff.
Yeah,
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 I know what
those
store.
kind of stores.
Yeah.
I really worry about those like not being around anymore because they're and everything just going online because it's kind of a niche thing already.
Vor on G. No,
I have
yeah,
no
I
idea.
get you. But yeah, yeah.
So, does it that company you had mentioned the video game company? Does it just put out like apps, or do you like put anything on Steam?
So currently, since we are in our pre-seed phase, we've been able to raise around $40,000, and to complete the app, we need around 70,000 in total. So we just probably need 30K more. So having said that, we are more focused on completing the app as a whole rather than bringing it on a console platform. So currently, no, we don't have it on Steam, and we're not seeing it right now. It coming to Steam just yet.
Okay, but that might be some. I'm just saying in general, like if your company's more focused on like mobile games, or you know the the Steams and the Origins and the Xboxes and stuff like that.
So no, we'll be dipping our toes in those. We have some plans for the future in our game company.
Heck yeah! So it's real small. It's like I guess you'd call it like an indie, like an indie developer.
Not really, because I hired a team. They're 21 developers, and I think indie is like when the owner is developing it. I might be
Okay.
wrong. I don't know how it works. I
No,
don't know
you're
how it
fair.
works.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. But I
I
thought indie was like the owner is developing it.
You might be right. I just know that like you're definitely on the smaller end, right? If it's like 40,000 for the app or whatever, you're not spending millions to put out
Yeah,
the next GTA, right? So that's why I was
right.
just curious on as far as um how big of a company and everything.
No, yeah, it's a very small company. I think in total we're like 27 people. It's nothing huge. I outsource my employees from India. That's the truth, because they're more affordable, and well, they're more affordable. Have you tried paying an American developer? Holy snaps. They want some money, a lot of
Yeah,
money.
no, I feel you.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently that's frowned upon. So that's why I say yes, I do outsource, and I'm happy about it. I'm proud to give, you know, employment to people in other countries. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, I think where it's like becomes a problem is like when when it's happening across the board, and then all those jobs are getting like outsourced, right?
I think also when the company can actually afford to pay more. I cannot. I'm like, dude, we're small. Like,
No, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, I think it only becomes an issue when, like, you have like the Ford Motor Companies moving, and they closed all these plants they already had open. I think that's where it's kind of like really, the whole town depended on that factory, and now you're gonna shut it down to save 36 cents a unit or something like that, or you know, I guess that's why it's shady. But you would you're just a guy trying to make some money, and yeah, it's not the same. It's like
I guess,
apples and
yeah.
oranges,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want that's crazy, man. Like getting into all those different businesses, I'm surprised you haven't broken like the 100K point yet. If you're in multiple streams of income, I think they say to become a millionaire, they want like you want like at least 4 or 5 sources of income.
Six.
So is it six?
6 streams.
6 streams? Yeah, I knew it was up there. Like they tell you like real estate, and then own some businesses, and then maybe you have like an online media company. You got more than one thing going on, and all of those are generating you revenue, and that's usually how people end up breaking that $1 million mark. I think with just real estate you probably could do it, but obviously any one business could, but
It's work, man.
yeah. So do you think you'll get there?
As terms in the 100K mark or 100K follower, earnings, profit.
Well, I was talking about the businesses and the 100K. So do you think you'll get to a point where maybe one day you'll be a millionaire?
Oh, dude, yeah, without a doubt, that's for sure.
You
Yeah,
think
I,
so?
I, I know so.
You know so? All right.
Yes, quote me on that.
Quote you?
Yeah,
Heck yeah,
actually,
man.
I my goal is at least 1 billion.
Billion? That's your goal?
Well, I have 200 billion written down, but for conversation sake, I have 1 billion. But the whole purpose about it is creating something that everybody's gonna have in their home, just like these cellular devices, or just like payment processing. Everybody uses payment processing. That's using your debit or your credit.
Well,
That guy's he's a fucking billionaire.
then you're getting into cryptocurrency, because that's what some of the cryptocurrencies are trying to solve, is the payment process.
It could come in any form. I'm right now. I have my of course blueprints, but before I take action with these blueprints, I need investments, and before I get investments, I need to show that hey, I am somebody who can handle the amount of money I'm asking for what it is I'm asking it for. You know what I mean? So I'm creating a name basically.
Yeah, and it's like a process. You have to slowly build up to that. Like me, I've just now started getting to a point where I'm learning about investments, like even stocks. I went to college, like community college, for about a year, and I did learn a little bit, but there's still a lot to even learn even now. Like my boss, he's the owner of his company. I other than this, I do HVAC,
Hmm.
and I talk to him a lot because he makes investments and purchases stocks. But it's kind of funny because when we're talking to each other, there's almost like a point where we don't relate because we don't live with the same means. When he's saying, "Oh, when I put say $12,000 in stocks, $12,000 for me would be life changing. For him, it's like, oh no, I just put it in this thing and I'm gonna let it sit there. So it's kind of funny how we're on like just um, two different
How
mindsets.
how far do you live from Colorado Springs?
From Colorado Springs, I'm actually going there. My mom lives in Colorado Springs. It's like a 2-hour drive.
Oh wow, that's far.
Yeah. Why? You just curious?
Yeah, I was just curious, cause I know HVAC is pretty big in Colorado Springs, so I was curious if like you went to Colorado Springs to do your work, or cause I've never heard of your where you live in Colorado, but I know Colorado Springs.
Have you heard of like? So I work out of Boulder, Colorado. If you know where that's
Oh,
at.
Boulder, I know where Boulder is too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that
So that's
song.
pretty. Yeah, so I was like, that's if you've heard of Colorado, you probably heard of Boulder. You might have heard of the Springs, or maybe like Fort Collins or Denver. Those are like the biggest.
Yeah,
Like I
those
guess
are
those are
all
the
the ones I've
hubs.
actually heard. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are like the hubs. But I work in Longmont, which is part of Boulder County, and we work in Longmont and Boulder. But the thing is like, I would like I'm hoping that one day, like we were talking about goals and stuff, that one day, hopefully, doing enough of this, I'll get to a point where I won't have to do like a physical job. I'll be able to just go on here and have a podcast with IWASOWNED and how he got to his billions, and and that will be the way I make money. Hopefully one day, so.
Hey man, one video at a time. And
Yeah,
damn,
yeah, yeah.
Conk actually asked you a question.
He's like, Boulder's still filled with granola hippies. Um, yes, it's worse than ever.
Just for
So,
the viewers, what is a granola hippie?
oh, there's like, I don't know. So if you're not from here, there's like people from Boulder. Not everyone, obviously, but there's a lot of people that they call them Boulderites because they act a certain way. They're like your typical like, they're like on the very far side tree kind of hugging person, and not all of them are bad either, but they're a certain, they like tax, like Boulder's a very clean city because they tax you for littering very high, like if, or I guess they fine you for a very high fine if you are found littering, and they enforce it too. So there's like a lot of stuff like that happens, and it's just such a different culture in Boulder than the rest of Colorado. Like part of like legalization of weed, a lot of that came probably out of Boulder. And it's funny because a lot of people from California, they move here, and I don't want to get too political, but I would say probably more of the far left, right, move to like Boulder from other states, because they think it's like a hub, for conservative. It's like they're like very like-minded people, you know. Um, so I know it's just interesting.
Lots
Yeah,
of
like
weed vegans, ecological activists who eat granola.
yeah, exactly. He worded it better than I did. Yeah.
So a lot of hipsters,
Yeah, hipster. Man buns. The man
man
buns.
buns, hipsters. Uh
Like
oh.
there's a. All right, so when I was younger, we used to go to Pearl Street, and there would be like street performers. Almost kind of like Venice Beach. You go to Venice Beach, and you got all the like. There's different people. It's not quite like that because Venice Beach is its own animal, but there are street performers. And then there's like almost like outlet malls on the sides of Pearl Street. Okay, and we'd go out there all the time, and that's where we'd hang out. Like we'd go and hide in the, um, and I guess I was a rebellious kid. We'd go hide in like the parking lots, and we'd smoke weed in our car, and then we'd go and like hang out and watch all the like street performers and stuff. Yeah, when I was a rebellious teenager running around being crazy. Or
That
we'd
sounds
like
about right.
Yeah, or we would go to Boulder and like crash college parties and hang out there because there's CSU there, and it's one of like the craziest party schools in the nation apparently, and so we'd go there all the time just looking to crash a party or try to get laid.
That's right, man. You were out there trying to bust a nut. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, young, dumb, and the rest.
Young, dumb, hung, and having fun.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool. That's
Yes,
cool.
yeah, we do that. Or I don't know if you ever did anything like this. Like I won't name names, but there's this mall. I think they call it the Flatirons Mall. And one day, me and my friends, we had smoked way too much weed, and we were just running around being hooligans. And I remember we got chased by, I don't, the story's a little fuzzy, but we ended up getting like chased by the security guard, and then we were like driving around this mall, and then we ended up like stealing the statue. It was like I don't know, I think it was like a lion statue outside of like this Flatirons mall. It wasn't me. One of my friends had ran up and grabbed it and put it in the car. And it was funny though, because later on, like years later, it was still there. Like it was in his yard, just like as like a his mom used it as like a lawn decoration.
What the?
It was like hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, man, that's probably a good spot to end it. I'm getting pretty tired, so we'll
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I appreciate you having me out here, Samson.
No, I do too, and I'm gonna check out. So is that game that get back to the game because you said you would? Is that released now?
Yeah, it's out. It's out for iOS, for iPhones, and it's called X No Proving Grounds.
X No Proving Grounds. All right, I'll
Yeah.
make sure to try to write that down, and then yeah, man. So it's been good, and we'll go ahead and end it there. You guys have a great night, and thank you for watching People Theory.
Thank you, People Theory. Have a good one.